Hello YouTube, welcome to Formula 1 2017. Here we are for the Spanish Grand Prix. Here we are for qualifying round 1. And now qualifying has started. Now we're just waiting for the first car to take to the track. Here comes Joshua Abney making his second start in Formula 1. Another one of his few starts in EWRL. Tyler Markle out on his out lap here. So we did take one off week last week. Everybody, I had to attend a prior commitment, and that was scheduled into our season, as well as a few others. But here we are, back at it again for the Spanish Grand Prix, and I'm glad just to be back here with everybody enjoying this great racing league, racing series on the Formula 1 2017 game. We now witness Markle caution in Sector 2. Sanic has gone off and crashed. And Tyler Markle coming through the final corner will start his timed lap. And he's gone the wrong way. Well, this is not safe. Okay. He's gonna get off track here. Gonna watch Tyler Markle. Brian Glennon for the Sauber is on the medium compound tire. And we're now watching Tyler Markle, and I can't tell who's that right behind him. That would be Prophetic. Now going to see, looks like Prophetic may have a little bit of that slipstream. I don't know if that's going to help. Maybe actually hurt him through these corners. See Tyler Markle coming around. He's going to set the first timed lap today, but Prophetic's actually on an opening lap. Out lap, I think. Now coming to the final corner, Tyler Markle looks like no penalties. Clean lap, a 120.390 for Renault. Hendrick, a 122.434. Brian Glennon, a 124.251. Looks like Tristan Allen will be the next one. Tristan Allen, a 121.467. Darius Bell, a 121.021. Caution, Sector 3. It's like somebody went around. Prophetic did not end up setting a lap. He went straight back into the pits. Watch Joshua Ballier for McLaren. Julian Van Buren is in the Mercedes, who did not set a lap. So we have Tyler Merkel on pole, provisional pole right now. Troy Salter in second. Darius Bell in third. Tristan Allen in fourth. Joshua Abney in fifth. Brian Glennon in sixth. Right now, Joshua Ballier is on the track in seventh. Julian Van Buren is eighth. Has not set a lap either, but he will be the last one to set a lap. Josh Sanic is ninth. Josh Sanic making his first start. He's disqualified in qualifying. That's great. And Joshua Ballier for 120.656. Dance left. I believe here comes yeah, here does come Julian Van Buren. He's gonna go and set his next and probably only lap. Does go ahead and beat Tristan Allen on the pit exit. Let's watch Julian Van Buren on his out lap and his time lap caution sector 1. And now watch Prophetic players flying around the track, gets into the gravel right there on the exit onto the second DRS straightaway. He now brings it into the tight left-hander. Probably everybody's least favorite corner. One of the heavier braking points on the entire F1 circuit. He comes flying around into the final chicane. Chicane, the right, left, right. And now onto the front straightaway with another left-hander. Caution sector 1. Tristan Allen probably keeping those tires clean. We're not going to watch Prophetic player Julian Van Buren in the Mercedes. Julian Van Buren, he did a decent job last week. Let's see what he can do here. Absolutely stunning lap here at Barcelona. And to the second position on the chart, a 120.45415. There seems to be a sound glitch on the Toro Rosso. I'm gonna watch Tyler Markle as he's on his warm-up lap. Darius Bell to the final corner. Oh, he had a terrible lap. I think he's going to start his timed lap here. Oh, and he's just... Okay. He's just not trying. So, we're going to see Tyler Markle. Look, he's going to come and start his timed lap here. Julian Van Buren, a 120.190 on the soft compound. To the top of the chart and provisional pole, Julian Van Buren. Here comes Tyler Markle. One final hoorah at the pole. Goes off the track a little bit. That's not going to be good. Troy Saltivate 120.104 on the soft compound for Williams. To the top of the charts on the provisional pole, Tyler Markle flying through here, and Darius Bell's crashed the car. Tyler Markle 120.815, one final hoorah at the pole. No, that's it from Tyler Markle. Darius Bell's crashed it. Brian Glennon. Troy Salter with the provisional pole. Julian Van Buren second. Joshua Ballier third. Tyler Markle fourth. Darius Bell fifth. Brian Glennon sixth. Tristan Allen seventh. Joshua Abney 8th, Josh Stanko will start from the back in 9th. Dan Park should be starting this race from 10th. Check the race director for any time penalties. Darius Bell got his lap invalidated. Probably for those shenanigans towards the end. He DNF'd. Disqualification for Josh Sanic for going the wrong way. I think it was just trying to get out of the gravel trap though. The game was a little harsh on Sanic right there. McLaren sponsored by Michael Kors, huh? See both Renaults in the picture. Tyler Markle, the closer Renault. Tristan Allen, the Renault in the back. Now I have to wait a few more seconds before we get to the race. The time is now 10:52 Eastern Standard Time. Joshua Ballier starting third as he pulls the car into the gravel trap. Celebratory gravel trap. So here's your starting grid. Troy Salter and Julian Van Buren on the front row. Joshua Ballier and Tyler Markle in row 2. Darius Bell and Brian Glennon in row 3. Tristan Allen and Joshua Abney in row 4. And Josh Sanic and probably Dan Park in row 5. That is your starting grid for the Spanish Grand Prix at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Here we go. We're going to go on a formation lap, and action will soon be underway at the great Barcelona, Catalunya circuit. This is where pre-season testing was held. And what an amazing racetrack it is. It truly is like a work of art. This track is one of the most well-rounded tracks on the entire F1 circuit, which is probably why they do testing here. It's great, not gonna lie. I really enjoy watching races at this track. Racing at this track is a little bit of a headache, but it's okay. It brings a great challenge. And why it's a headache is because of that challenge. It's a great challenge. The track's fun. Dan Park will be starting 10th. It should be going here. Dan Park should be in the McLaren, but I believe he does not get a choice, so he might be put in a random vehicle. Here we go for the formation lap. Dan Park is in the Ferrari. Troy Salter leading the field on the formation lap. Julian Van Buren getting those tires warmed up in second. We have Darius Bell, Brian Glennon, Tristan Allen, Joshua Abney. Everybody's actually doing this formation lap in order, so I don't know if you really keep up with the league, but nobody really does the formation laps correctly in this league. So besides, I guess, Ballier and Markle decided to take each other out, which that's okay, I guess. I don't know. Tristan was taken from the formation lap. I feel like it's going to be a great battle between Troy Salter and Julian Van Buren. Troy Salter off the final corner, now being taken control of to get re-gridded. I believe that is it. And now, it's time to bring the action here for the Spanish Grand Prix. EWRL Season 3 Spanish Grand Prix is underway in just a few moments. The light count begins. 5 red lights. And it's lights out. And away we go. Troy Salter storms off the line. 3 wide, Brian Glenn and Julian Van Buren in the middle. Tyler Markle looking to get into the middle lane as they all try to file into one single line into turn 1. Troy Salter takes a little bit of a commanding lead already through turns 1 and 2. And now the field scatters through 2. Ballier gets sent off a little bit. And wow, what a field we got down here. Jostling for position, getting into turn 4. Ballier and Dan Park already up to 6th. Ballier gets stuck behind Darius Bell. Wow, look at that. We have Dan Park, who's already gained 4 positions from the start. Ballier and Brian Glennon have lost 2 positions. Ballier down the inside of Darius Bell. They made contact. This is all for the 4th position. Dan Park goes off the track and around he goes. We rarely see mistakes from Dan Park. I don't know if he got hit off or not. Darius Bell in the gravel trap. I feel like maybe Dan and Darius made contact. Oh, and around goes Joshua Ballier. 3 fast cars now just spun out on the first lap. And that's surely going to hurt their chances. Wow. Joshua Abney's made his way into the pit lane. And it's Troy Salter with the race lead. Julian Van Buren second. Tyler Merkel third. And Dan Park goes around again. This is something. This is rare. We don't see this many mistakes out of, especially these 3 in 7th, 8th, and 9th. Joshua Ballier, Dan Park, and Darius Bell. All three of these guys are extremely fast, almost perfectionists on the game, and they just it's rare. We don't see this many mistakes out of any of these guys. Is this really Dan playing? You now watch Julian Van Buren under attack from Tyler Merkel slightly as you get into the chicane. At the completion of the 2nd lap, and there goes Joshua Abney. Joshua Abney's left the session. At the completion of the 2nd lap, DRS will be enabled, and Tyler Merkel will have a chance to overtake fastest lap Troy Salter, 124.813. Tyler Merkel will have a chance to overtake on the 2nd DRS straightaway. Down the front stretch, Merkel does not get enough momentum, does not attempt to pass there. Van Buren goes off a little bit in 2. Dan Park has made his way on the pit lane. And now we watch Julian Van Buren and Tyler Merkel do battle here at Barcelona. Dan's having trouble with the Ferrari. The back wing enabled on Tyler Merkel's Renault. Down the inside of Julian Van Buren. And he will take the position away, clear through the next corner. Julian Van Buren, I'm sure, is in utter shock from that move. He came from far back and dove it down the inside to his left into the corner. We have a caution in Sector 3. Tristan Allen goes around. Everybody's going around. Barcelona is not an easy track, as it's being showcased by some of the better drivers in all of F1. Everybody's having a little bit of trouble. Tristan Allen is out of the race. He crashed it into the pit lane. Why? What? Tristan Allen has DNF'd, crashing the car in the pit lane. That is something new. The battle for second is not over. Here comes Julian Van Buren right back to Tyler Merkel. He'll have his shot on this DRS straightaway. I feel like everybody in the field is in utter shock that Tristan Allen just wrecked this car in the pit lane. Onto the second DRS straightaway. The back wing is enabled on. The back wing is open on the Mercedes. Down the inside does not get there. He closes the gap a lot though. He'll have his chance on the front straightaway then. Into the chicane, Tyler Merkel continues to hold steady. Troy Salter out in front of these two. Van Buren right on the gearbox of Tyler Merkel. Now onto the front straightaway. The back wing is open on the Mercedes. He'll have a huge run down the front straightaway with a lot of slipstream, a lot of drag reduction. Does he make the move down the inside? No, he thinks better of it. He is more of a safer, conservative driver. Does not make the over-aggressive move to try to overtake Tyler Markle right now. He knows it's a long race. We're on lap 5 of 66. And decides to think better of it and just waits for an opportunity. Maybe a mistake from Tyler Markle. Maybe just where he's closer enough to make an overtake attempt. But these two battling is going to open up the lead that Troy Salter already has on second and third. You can see these drivers are pushing themselves to the limit. Tyler Markle's flying all over the track. Julian Van Buren opens the back wing on that Mercedes. Heavy braking zone. He does not make the move to the inside. This is one of the more entertaining parts of the track. Now through the chicane, Troy Salter continues to open up the lead. We have reports that Tristan Allen had wing damage and just was not able to turn into the pit lane and has crashed the car. Tyler Markle, Julian Van Buren continue to do battle here at Barcelona. This time by the start-finish line, there will be 60 laps remaining in the Spanish Grand Prix. There goes Troy Salter, and now Tyler Markle in the Renault. Julian Van Buren in the Mercedes. Troy Salter representing Williams very well, having a strong season but has not been able to seal the deal just yet. Will he get his first win today or anytime soon? Julian Van Buren all over the curbing on the exit of that corner with the DRS back wing open. Does not get close enough. I think he's losing time to Tyler Markle. Is not able to make an overtake attempt just yet. I think he's going to have to close on Markle through the chicane here. That's where Markle seems to be slowest, to Julian Van Buren at least. And I think that's where he's going to have to get a great run through these corners and just have a huge launch onto the back front straightaway and get that DRS and make his overtake attempt. There's Troy Salter has probably made a mistake. That lead is erased. Tyler Markle now having Troy Salter in the clutches, looking down the inside, thinks better of it. I think Julian Van Buren sees how this could be an issue. He's also having a little bit of internet trouble there, but Julian Van Buren might want to just back out of this. This could turn out to be ugly. Tyler Markle on the aggressive. Troy Salter, he's going to be an aggressive defender. He has yet to win a race this season. Julian Van Buren has has left the session. So his car will not be taken over. And there's the caution in sectors 1 and 2. Brian Glennon. We now watch Troy Salter, Tyler Markle, the battle for the race lead. 60 laps remain in the Spanish Grand Prix. So now Markle, it's a never-ending battle for Markle. He's gotten from lap 1, and there's just been a continuous cycle of battles through Julian Van Buren and now through Troy Salter trying to get the race lead. The back wing is open on the Renault, down the front straightaway with the slipstream. No slipstream. Troy Salter to the right side of the track does not give Markle any of the slipstream. Tyler Markle, huge oversteer through that corner. He's going to be all over Troy Salter, giving him a lot of pressure for the race lead on board Tyler Markle. This is where you can't get in your head. You have to be perfect. If you want the lead or you want to keep the lead. Safety car is deployed. Tristan has left the session. And that kills that battle. But it'll bring the field together yet again. This gives Joshua Ballier, Dan Park, Darius Bella another life in this race. Brian Glennin's just here, just saying it, trying to have a decent showing here for his first Formula 1 start in EWRL, only his third start in the league. There's the safety car. Troy Salter, Tyler Mark, whoa! Under the safety car, Tyler Markle's trying to still overtake Troy Salter. There's no overtaking under the safety car, so I don't know if he knows that rule or is just messing with him. That's it's unsafe though. Brian Glennon does pit now. Because now we work the first safety car period of the day. Tyler Markle does pit, Troy Salter does not. So now the field, all of these drivers try to catch up to the safety car to queue up. And this could be a somewhat lengthy safety car period. Josh Sanic makes his way to the pit lane. And now one lap down, Joshua Abney, his car being driven by an artificial intelligence. Joshua Abney is now going to be, going by the safety cars. The leader has pitted. And Tyler Markle's past the safety car. I don't know why he's done that. Does everybody get to pass the safety car now? The safety car is pulled off on the front straightaway. So this is going to be another lap added to this safety car period. Troy Salter does pit. Tyler Markle has passed the safety car. Now we're going to go around on another lap under the safety car. This is going to make this safety car extremely lengthy. It came out lap 9 and nobody was even close to being queued up. And now the leader has gone right past the safety car. And we're going to do this all over again. So I believe Tyler Marco's going to catch up to the safety car here. And I don't think he can pass Joshua Abney. He's going to stay behind him. Joshua Abney's going to go by the safety car. Tyler Marco's not going to be able to go by. He does slow down in time. You saw the green light change to a yellow light. Now the field's going to have to queue up again. This is going to be a really lengthy safety car. Now we're on lap 12, and we're probably not going to go this lap, as Joshua Abney still has to drive all the way around the track and catch up. This is going to be the 4th lap of the safety car. The safety car has been out since the leader was on lap 8, and now the leader's on lap 12. Looks like it will be going, no we won't. We will be going green this time by. And Tyler Marco, huge lead. I don't know why they're gonna let him gap the field like that. And Darius Bell's crashed the car under safety car. That's not fair. They better let everybody else queue up. That is not fair. We got a caution in sector 2. And the field has restarted. Joshua Ballier up to 3rd. Dan Park up to 4th. Now look at the compounds everybody's on. We have Tyler Merkel, Troy Salter, and Joshua Ballier on the medium. We have Dan Park on the hard compound. Julian Van Buren on the soft compound. Brian Glennon on the hard compound, Josh Sanick and Joshua Abney on the medium compound. We now watch from Joshua Ballier's McLaren looking back at his teammate, except not this race, Dan Park in the Renault, or no, Ferrari, my bad. Now, does Troy Salter have the chance to catch up to Tyler Marco and try to regain the race lead? Maybe try to continue to try to go get that win. That elusive first win for Troy Salter. It's already been a few races and he just has not been able to do it. Troy Salter, just fine. Dan Park, I think, is trying to catch up to Ballier, but is not able to. Julian Van Buren has made it back into the race. Tyler Marco continues to lead here at Barcelona. And now we have a battle 4v 4th position. Dan Park under attack from Julian Van Buren in the Mercedes. Van Buren gonna be on the aggressive. He's back in the race and he's ready to fight for this race lead. The top 5, definitely all 5 of the top 5 are capable of winning this race. DRS is enabled. Julian Van Buren back at it again for a 124.510 on the soft compound. For Mercedes, down the inside does not get there. Huge closing rate though. And now all this happening behind Joshua Ballier in the McLaren. All 3 of these drivers on different compounds. Ballier on the mediums, Park on the hards. Park gives way to Van Buren, who's on the softs, and another crossover, double crossover in the same corner. Dan Park tries to fight back along the outside. Van Buren holds steady on the inside, holds the preferred line. Now down the short chute in the left-hander, uphill left-hander. This is a tough corner for all these drivers. Van Buren now all over Ballier. He's going to have his prime overtaking opportunity here on the second DRS trader. The back wing is open on that Mercedes. Down the inside of Joshua Ballier with the preferred line through the corner. Cuts him off a little bit, but is able to take the position away. Safety car deployed. Tyler Merkel does pit. Troy Salter cuts it in so he can pit with him as well. Julian Van Buren stays out. Joshua Ballier, Dan Park, pit. Feel like this is a little bit of a save for Tyler Merkel, who racing Troy Salter in the pit exit gets the shaft, and Troy Salter the second, Tyler Merkel the third, Joshua Ballier continues in fourth, Dan Park in fifth, Brian Glennon heading through the chicane does not pit, he's in sixth, Josh Sanick in seventh. On the median compound, does he pit? Here comes Josh Sanick for Red Bull. Hi. We now watch Julian Van Buren, who takes the lead here under the safety car. Everybody else from second to fifth has pitted for the hard compound tire. Dan Park actually in fifth took the soft compound. Julian Van Buren now queues up behind the safety car as the race leader. Lap 16 of 66 here at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix. Troy Salter queues up second. Here comes the Renault of Tyler Merkel, followed by the McLaren of Joshua Ballier in fourth. Now working the second safety car period of today. This one was deployed on lap 15 compared to the other one that was deployed on lap 8. So, just a few laps ago, Julian Van Buren lost connection to the server and was being controlled by an artificial intelligence. AI took over control. Safety car was shortly deployed thereafter. He restarted the race from second and dropped back to fifth. Julian Van Buren reconnected to the server and was able to regain control of his car and basically now just take the lead. I don't know if the strategy is prime or anything, but you gotta say that's pretty remarkable. He went from losing connection, battling for the lead. He wasn't fair when he lost connection, restarting the race on the first safety car in second, regained control of his car in fifth, and is now leading the race under the safety car. So here comes the safety car queue. We will not be restarting this lap. I believe we're still waiting for Josh Sanic and Joshua Abney. Joshua Abney is an AI, though. I don't believe we're going to be waiting on him. But Josh Sanic in 7th. Oh, Julian Van Buren does pit, giving up the race lead. That is okay. Troy Salter now getting the better end of the stick. Tyler Merkel getting the shit end of the stick is able to take the race lead just from a pit stop. Tyler Merkel probably more furious at his crew than he is at Troy Salter. Wow. So Troy Salter, by mere luck and a very decent pit stop. Joshua Ballier colliding with Tyler Merkel. 5 seconds stop and go penalty. Brian Glenn, I don't see why he's trying to overtake Dan Park under safety car. We're now going to take a look at how many stops everybody's made. So see, everybody's made 2 stops except for Joshua Avenue, who's being controlled by an artificial intelligence with 1 stop. Under the safety car, we should be going green this lap. Yes, we will be going green this lap. Quick look at the position change onto the tires. So you have 7 cars restarting the race in a queue. Troy Salter into Williams will lead the field back to green. Tyler Merkel in 2nd for Renault. Joshua Ballier in 3rd with McLaren has a 5-second stop and go penalty to do his next pit stop. Dan Park in 4th with Ferrari. Brian Glennon in 5th with Sauber. Josh Sanic in 6th with Red Bull. Julian Van Buren in 7th with Mercedes. The green flag back in the air. We're racing here at Barcelona. Now, just like the start of this race, Troy Salter with a decent-sized lead into turn 1, and there's a collision. Off the track goes Dan Park. 5-second stop and go penalty for Brian Glennon. Probably just completely obliterated Dan Park. Caution in sector 2. Don't know what it was for. Another caution in sector 2. Julian Van Buren spun. That's what happened. So now, probably the battle of the race. Troy Salter, Tyler Merkel, old pals going all the way back to 2014. Tyler Merkel cuts the corner just a little bit, does make a slight contact with Troy Salter. But anyway, these buddies go back to 2014, and they've been okay. They've been nothing's bad happened. They've been casual friends, and now they get to battle yet again in another racing league, completely different racing league. They were battling on NASCAR in another racing league. NASCAR 14, NASCAR 15 was the game, and now we're on Formula 1 2017 in a completely different racing league, and they're back at it again. These two battled so hard on NASCAR, just as they do here in F1 for the past few races. We're now on the 5th race of the season. Troy Salter looking for his elusive first career win in EWRL. Should be his 2nd league win of all time if he does get his first career EWRL win. And it's just it's pretty great just to see 3 years ago these guys were going door to door in stock cars. Now here they are 3 years later in a completely different racing league, battling each other in Formula One cars, open wheel race cars. Now Tyler Merkel, he's more of a driver who will cut the corners. He will do anything for the race lead. Troy Salter is more of the follow the rules kind of guy, but will be very aggressive on defending. So we're gonna see what happens here as Merkel will get DRS yet again. Here onto the front straightaway, all over the gearbox, and Troy Salter. DRS is enabled, will not be enabled for Tyler Merkel this time by. Down the inside does he go, with a little bit of an advantage, does he outbrake him? No, Troy Salter outbrakes him, wow! Troy Salter outbrakes Tyler Merkel on the outside. What a move by Troy Salter to defend. Julian Van Buren with the fastest lap yet again. I believe it was a 124.3 on the soft compound for Mercedes. And no! Tyler Merkel almost hits Troy Salter off the track. Very aggressive as Tyler Merkel. This may bring Joshua Ballier into the picture. I think there's a little bit of lag going on. And Tyler Merkel probably not having it. This time out in the DRS straightaway, we'll see what happens. They both go flying off the corner. Tyler Merkel a little bit more dirt than Troy Salter. With the back wing open, will not hit his chance to overtake this time. He does at the front straightaway this time. Safety car deployed yet again. This is turning into China. Working the third safety car period of the day. Drive-through penalty for Josh Sanick speeding under the safety car. Tyler Merkel, Joshua Ballier, Brian Glennon all pit. Troy Salter, Dan Park stay out. Josh Sanick and Julian Van Buren do pit. The race out of the pit lane allows Joshua Ballier to take third. Tyler Merkel getting shafted by his pit crew coming out fourth. Josh Sanick to fifth. Brian Glennon sixth. Julian Van Buren in seventh. Now it's Troy Salter queuing up behind the safety car yet again. On board with Troy Salter behind the safety car. I don't know if you saw what I just saw right there, but Troy Salter probably being a little bit more smart under these safety cars than most people. I don't know if I want to say it to give away a secret, but I'll say, oh, a little bit of lag there. I don't know, maybe it was lag then. But what looked to be was that Troy Salter let off the gas, just let the safety car build up a gap, and then he drove it hard into the corner to heat up those brakes, to keep those brakes heated. I feel like that was a smart move, trying to keep the brakes heated up here under safety car. That most people don't try to do. Build up a little bit of gap and then drive it hard into the corner to build up the brakes. I think he does value more aspects of this game than most people. He takes the tire and brake temperature very seriously compared to others, and I appreciate someone who takes this more realistic than others. I mean, he does value keeping his brake temperature and tire temperature and wear up. Well, to wear down, but temperature's up. Safety car will not be going in this lap. We got another lap to say. Oh, he will be going in this lap. Everybody's queued up and ready to go. Even Joshua Abney, his artificial intelligence is finally caught up to a safety car. So we will be going green this time by Troy Salter. Will lead the field back to green, but he's got a new person on his gearbox. This time, it's Dan Park, one of the better drivers in Formula One, going through a little bit of adversity with a Ferrari that he does not like the handling of. He doesn't normally drive a Ferrari, but he was forced to today by server matters. Green flag back in the air. Troy Salter leads the field back to the green, but he's under attack from none other than the best in EWRL's Formula One series. Back-to-back EWRL Formula One champion Dan Park, right behind the rookie Troy Salter. Dan trying to go for 3 championships in a row. Back-to-back is what Dan is trying to do. Brian Glennon may have found a new partner to run in that certain position with. Josh Sanick and Dan Park, Brian Glenn, my bad. Brian Glenn and Josh Sanick. As I watch Brian Glennon's tires change color. Anyway, we watch Tyler Markle and Joshua Ballier going at it side by side here through one of the tighter, hairier parts of the track. They get through okay. Down the inside goes Ballier. They make contact. Oh, and Tyler Markle, a little bit of contact with Brian Glennon, and around he goes, and through the grass goes Josh Sanick. Wow. I feel like Brian Glennon should not have been there. He is not as fast as the other two who are battling, Tyler Markle and Joshua Ballier. I don't think he should have been as aggressive as he was. And he just got right there to the inside of, I believe that was Tyler Markle, and just he shouldn't have been there. Tyler Markle was already busy focusing on another car, and he knows he's not as fast as the others. I don't know what he was trying to do there. I think he's maybe trying to get a free position that he was going to lose in a couple laps anyway, but I don't know. I guess it was just worth a shot, but I don't see where he could have gained anything from that over-aggressive move I saw out of Brian Glennon there. Here comes Julian Van Buren, the top 5, well able to win this race. Tyler Markle now trying to get around Ballier. We now watch the race for the lead. Dan Park putting huge pressure on Troy Salter. Oh, he makes contact with the gearbox. Oh no, Troy Salter's been under this kind of pressure from the back-to-back world champion of EWRL, Dan Park. I don't know if he's gone toe-to-toe with Troy Salter either. This may be a new thing to both of these guys, as this is the 5th race of the season. I don't think either of these guys, who are actually very, very good at the game, I don't think either of them have battled each other before until now. DRS is enabled. And Julian Van Buren on the medium compound with the fastest lap of a 124.332 for Mercedes. We got 2 battles going on here. The battle for the race lead, the battle for third. Tyler Markle, huge closing rate, but has to get out of gas and does lose a little bit of time to Joshua Ballier. Tyler Markle had a huge run through turn 3. Now he's looking to get any chance he can get to overtake Ballier. Maybe a mistake, maybe on the DRS straightaway. And Julian Van Buren lurking in the dark, literally behind these two who are throwing the kitchen sink at 3rd place here. They're giving everything they've got just to get 3rd place. Here comes Tyler Markle, Julian Van Buren, both with the back wing open. Van Buren looks down the inside of Tyler Markle, makes a little bit of contact, is not able to get there, and safety cars deployed yet again. Now this has turned into a situation just like the Chinese Grand Prix, where there's a safety car every 5 or so laps. And this just keeps the racing a little bit more closer. It looks like stage racing in a sense. But not as many stages there are in NASCAR compared to how many safety cars we're having. I believe this is the 4th safety car we're working today. This is the 4th safety car of the Grand Prix. We are not even halfway done. And in 2 minutes, it'll be 45 minutes into the race. So we're working the 4th safety car period today. 4th safety car period today. Troy Salter continues to lead. Dan Park second. Joshua Ballier now in third. Tyler Markle in fourth. Julian Van Buren in fifth. All those 5 names you continuously hear me to repeat because all 5 of those drivers could win this race today. Brian Glennon, technically he has a chance to, but I just don't see Brian Glennon getting up there. Josh Shannick in his first start, I don't see him being able to get up there. And Joshua Abney is being controlled by an artificial intelligence. I highly doubt he will get the win. But all these restarts just bring more drama to the F1 series. All we need is a little bit more action to spice up things. We have a decent sized field here tonight. 10 drivers started, 7 remain. And it's keeping the action and intensity up high for all of these drivers. I think the 5 drivers who I continuously name, the top 5, don't really want the safety cars, but also kind of enjoy it as it keeps the field together, keeps the action and intensity up. Dan Park is pitted. Again, as we work our 4th safety car period of the day, looks like Dan Park should be able to queue up just fine. And we may be able to restart this race this lap. I think Dan Park's already queued up, actually. Yes, he is. And Joshua Abney, his car controlled by an artificial intelligence, not that far. So I believe we will be going green this time by, let's see what survey says. Troy Salter continues to lead the queue here in the safety car. We will be going green this time by. So here's your restart order. Troy Salter will restart this race from the lead for Williams. In second is the McLaren of Joshua Ballier, followed by the Renault of Tyler Markle in third. Fourth, we have Julian Van Buren in the Mercedes. Fifth, we have Brian Glennon in the Sauber. Sixth, we have Josh Sanick in the Red Bull. And seventh, we have Dan Park in the Ferrari. Here you go to the final corner. Green flag back in the air. We're racing yet again in Barcelona. Here comes Brian Glennon down the inside of Julian Van Buren. Does make an overtake on one of the faster cars here. And is actually clear. Dives it down the inside. Makes a little bit of a mistake and goes off the track. And he's going to let Van Buren go. For a second, he saw a shimmer of light. Sliver of light, I don't know, shimmer of light. And here comes Dan Park down the inside. He sends Brian Glennon to no man's land, out on the outside of a corner with no grip, no groove. Now Brian Glennon back where he should be racing respectively with Josh Sanick in battle for second. Ballier and Tyler Markle and Van Buren. I believe Tyler Markle was also battling for the lead. May have gone off a little bit and lost some time to Troy Salter. And now Second through fifth are about to go toe to toe to toe to toe for second place. Here we go, Tyler Markle in third, trying to get around Ballier, who's in second. Van Buren and Park lurking in the shadows. I don't think, I mean, he probably is, knowing how Joshua Ballier races. But I was going to say, I don't think Ballier can even focus on trying to get to the lead when he has a Tyler Markle on his gearbox. But now Tyler Markle isn't that close where he's putting any pressure on Ballier just yet. DRS is not enabled yet. Ballier trying to get up there. I think Markle is a little bit more busy with Julian Van Buren than he is with Joshua Ballier. Dan Park trying to stay with them. He's having a ill-handling race car. Down the inside goes Julian Van Buren. Another over-aggressive move, and around he goes. Oversteer for Julian Van Buren. But he doesn't lose that much time. He falls back to fifth, but he's right behind Dan Park. So he's not that far back. He just got to regroup, and will be right back into this race. DRS is enabled this time by. Troy Salter going to the right side of the front straighter, making sure Ballier does not get any of that slipstream. But Ballier continues to close even without slipstream. I think this may be end of Troy Salter's race, but no, it's not. He's got to fight back. He's on the hard compound, the slower compound, but a more durable compound to compare it to Ballier's mediums. Quicker but softer compound, less durable. Tyler Markle, Dan Park, Julian Van Buren has got to regroup, and he'll be back up here because these four are about to go to battle here for the race lead. Tyler Markle, Joshua Ballier, Dan Park, all three of those guys, they're great friends. They're not bad with Troy Salter. Down the inside goes Tyler Markle. Oh, and they made contact behind them. Or that was Joshua Ballier, Tyler Markle, and Dan Park made contact. It says Dan Park is in third. Wow, but Ballier shot down the inside, not Tyler Markle, my bad. Ballier shot down the inside of Troy Salter, but was not able to get there before the safety car was deployed. And then Dan Park and Tyler Markle made contact. It was all she wrote for this safety car. Third, fourth, and fifth, Ballier, Markle, and Van Buren. Is it starting to rain? I think I may have saw some rain. I think it's raining. And now this puts a completely different perspective to this race. They are already past halfway. But I was going to say Tyler Markle, Joshua Ballier, and Julian Van Buren all pitted. Joshua Ballier getting shafted big time that time. He went from literally second, first into the pit lane, to third out of the pit lane, the 8th in the running order. But I believe it is raining, and it may be time to put on the intermediates towards the end of the safety car period. What to do? What to do? Does Troy Salter know when it's time to put on the intermediates, or does he let Jeff do the talking? Everybody's queued up here besides Joshua Bally, I believe. Tyler Merkel. Oh, 5-second stop and go. Dan Park ignoring yellow flags. I think that'll be added to a pit stop. Intermediate tires for Dan. Is it that time? Is it that time? Tyler Merkel puts on the intermediates. So you have 2 drivers on the wet compound tire and 6 on dry compounds. And I'm pretty sure we might have maybe, well, I'm not pretty sure. We might have maybe one more safety car, maybe 2. Oh, Brian Glennon gets some wing damage. Brian Glennon in second, Josh Sanick in third. That's some decent TV time for those two, but looks like they won't be up there that long, especially anybody with dry compound tires, as it is raining. On board with Troy Salter. Now there's actually some water buildup on the camera. The tires are not going through water yet. I don't believe we're going green this time. We'll see what happens here. We're not going green this time, but this gives everybody a second chance to pit for wet tires. Do you pit for wet tires now? It's now been 55 minutes in this race, and it may just get a little bit longer. Troy Salter pits for wet tires. Brian Glennon risking it for the biscuit. No, he does not risk it. Oh, there's been a collision. Here comes Troy Salter and Josh Sanick, who have put on the intermediates. And I was waiting for BG Brian Glennon to take the race lead, and he ended up not being able to. I think he hit the safety car. I think he hit the safety car. The safety car was trying to pull off. Maybe let Josh Nelson's the race leader pit, let everybody pass, especially so that Joshua Abney can get a lap back. And I think he hit the safety car. I think he hit the safety car. Wow. What a bizarre turn of events. Kind of reminds me of the 2012 Daytona 500 for the NASCAR Premier Series, the Cup Series. It rained for 36 hours, delaying the Sunday afternoon race to a Monday night race. Here comes Brian Glennon into the pits. I think he hit the safety car. And Julian Van Buren also pitting. And Joshua Ballier pitting. So, Joshua Abney, a car controlled by an AI, an artificial intelligence, will be leading this race on a soft compound tire. A new front wing. I think he did hit the safety car. Now everybody's on the intermediate tire, on the wet compound tire, except for Joshua Abney. Here we are. The field will be queuing up behind the AI of Joshua Abney, he's not here, but he's leading this race. And we're still not going green this time, but we have another lap added on to the safety car. Joshua Abney, your race leader here. It is now the transition period from a dry race to a wet race. I wonder how everybody feels that Joshua Abney, who's not even controlling his car, is leading the Grand Prix. You know, he's going to quickly be overtaken by Dan Park in second, Troy Salter in third, Julian Van Buren in fourth, Joshua Ballier in fifth, Brian Glenn in sixth, Tyler Merkel seventh, and Josh Sanick in eighth. Second through eighth are on the intermediate compound tire. It's raining! And second through eight are on the correct compound tire for the weather conditions, but the race leader, Joshua Abney, is not on a wet compound tire. He's on a dry compound tire, and it's clearly pouring rain. I don't know what he's going to attempt to do. I mean, it's an AI. It's probably not going to crash, but it's going to be very slow. It continues. It's still leading here. Right, as it works the final two corners, right? The safety car's already in. The completion of the fifth safety car period. Green flag back in the air. We're racing in Barcelona. And Joshua Abney will lead the first lap under green. And now he's overtaken by Dan Park. We've now reached 1 hour into the race. And we'll see how this 30 laps remaining here in the Spanish Grand Prix finish out. Joshua Abney on the dry compound on softs right here, as he's clearly hanging tough in second. So now Troy Salter closing the gap on Dan Park for the race lead. Here comes Joshua Ballier around Joshua Abney. Julian Van Buren going on through. Tyler Markle working on his way through. There, Tyler Markle still can't get around Joshua Abney. There goes Tyler Markle. And now Already a first lap completed on green flag conditions while it's raining for the first time this race. It started raining around lap 31, the same time the safety car was deployed, the 5th safety car of the day. The safety car was deployed. We went green around lap 36, 37, and now we just completed the first green flag lap while it was raining for this race. I think it's the first first green flag lap of the season it's been raining. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to double check that. And Dan Park in his ill-handling Ferrari may not be so ill-handling in the rain. Here comes Troy Salter leading this race in the dry conditions, showing that he can do both. He can go both ways here. He's right on the gearbox of Dan Park. Joshua Ballier in third. I think Ballier is trying to look for an overtaking opportunity around Troy Salter. But Troy Salter, I think his race isn't over. When it started raining, Dan is clearly a little bit more experienced in rain. But I don't think it's completely over. Troy Salter may still have a say in this race win. Ballier certainly will still have a say in this race win. I don't know about Van Buren or Tyler Merkel. I think Tyler Merkel will not have a say in this race win, but he's still there. He's still on Julian Van Buren. Van Buren still has to show us what he can do in wet weather conditions. Never seen what he can do in wet weather. DRS isn't able, but it's raining. DRS is enabled and it's raining. This is not safe. Who enables DRS while it's raining? This is not safe. DRS is disabled. The safety car is deployed right before they get to the DRS zone. And that's another shot, another chance to get your strategy right. I think the stewards knew they made a mistake. It was clearly raining and the DRS was enabled, and I guess they just have to throw the safety car to disable it. So Dan Park is your race leader now under the safety car. So this race has made a certain definite transition in terms of racing style, but the same 5, at least most of the same 5, are competing for the race win still. Brian Glennon pits from 6th. Joshua Abney still does not pit. And Julian Van Buren has gone straight off the track. Okay. So let's just take a look at how many stops everybody's made today. So we see our race leader Dan Park has made 4. Troy Salter's made 3. Joshua Ballier's made 5. Tyler Markle's made 6. Julian Van Buren's made 5. Joshua Abney's made 2. Brian Glennon's made 5. And Josh Sanic has made 6. And here comes Joshua Abney, finally changing that set of tires. Take a look at that fast lap, because that's going to be the fastest lap for the rest of the race now. Right there. So you see here on the fastest lap, Julian Van Buren with a 124.332. That's going to be the fastest lap of the race today. I believe second would go to Dan Park for 124.516. Third would go to Joshua Ballier for 124.519. Fourth would go to Troy Salter, 124.642. Fifth would go to Tyler Marco, 124.854. I think sixth would go to BG Brian Glennon, 127.038. Seventh would go to... No, sixth would go to Darius Bell, 126.246. Seventh would go to Tristan Allen, 126.393. Eighth would go to Brian Glennon, a 127.038. Ninth would go to Josh Sanic, a 128.1072. And slowest lap would go to Joshua Abney, 133.079. This was a neat view, working 6th safety car of the day, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead and use this time to get to that 6th safety car. We will be going green this time by. This was the 6th safety car of the day. You know what, Cody? Sure, if you're still watching. Alright, so here we go. Dan Park leads the field back to the green here. Troy Salter second. Joshua Ballier under heavy attack from Tyler Marco in third. Dan Park's made the ultimate shift in positions from last to first on the grid right now. Oh, and Tyler Marco goes off the track and into 5th place he goes. Joshua Ballier to 3rd. Julian Van Buren to 4th. So Dan Park all over the place. Troy Salter, huge experience in dirt. Huge experience in rally racing. This is going to come in handy. Here comes Troy Salter on Dan Park, looking to the inside. Doesn't make a move just yet, but looks for a perfect opportunity to make his move. Do we still have another safety car today? We've gone through 6. Troy Salter on the aggressive. Dan Park has some competition here in Formula 1, and it's from none other than the rookie of Troy Salter, looking for his elusive first career win. Here comes Joshua Ballier. Tyler Markle hanging tough in 4th. "23 laps remain here in the Spanish Grand Prix. Troy Salter under attack from Joshua Ballier. Caution in Sector 2. And it's Brian Glennon. Around he went. Probably contact from Prophetic Player, not gonna lie. Or maybe he just went around. It is also raining. Back to the race lead. Dan Park, Troy Salter, Joshua Ballier, Tyler Markle, separated by just over 1 1/4 of a second. The top 4 are nose to tail essentially. 7/10 separates first and second. So now Joshua Ballier looking for his overtaking opportunity. We have a caution in Sector 1. None other than Josh Sanick, rookie, making his first ever EWRL F1 start, 3rd EWRL start, and he's retired from the session. He decided to call it a day. That was it from him. Pulls off the track. It's a done deal for Josh Sanick. Back to the race lead. Dan Park continues to hold steady here. There goes Josh Sanick out of the session. 7 drivers remaining. Six drivers remaining. 7 cars still racing. And Dan Park now opens up a little bit of a gap. Troy Salter isn't done. We got a battle for 3rd. Joshua Ballier, Tyler Markle back at it again. Tyler Markle looking down the inside into turn 1. With the preferred line, Tyler Markle does Ballier outbrake him just a little bit with the preferred line through turn 2. It's not over just yet. These two are going to go do battle here. Tyler Markle down the inside of turn 4. Ballier around the outside and into the grass goes Ballier, but down the inside of Tyler Markle into the next corner. Ballier going off. He put up one hell of a fight, but man, that was a little bit too over aggressive there to maintain the position. Should have backed off, just get his braking right again, then regroup and go back at him. You know what? I think Troy Salter is still looking for that first career win. I mean, he still is, but he might still have a chance to get it today. When Dan Park usually takes the lead in F1, it's usually over. Here comes Troy Salter on the gearbox of Dan Park. Right on the gearbox. He could reach out and touch that gearbox. Dan Park going off the track into the race lead goes Troy Salter. Here comes Dan Park right back at him. Down the inside. Does he have the preferred line? Can he outbrake him into the second corner? Troy has the preferred line. Here comes the crossover. Around the outside looks Dan Park. Through one of the slower corners on the circuit. Troy using the more preferred line. Continuing to maintain here. So now the rain proving to be the biggest foe to Dan Park. Not the biggest foe to Troy Salter as he regains control of this race. 20 laps remaining, this time by 19 in the Spanish Grand Prix. And I don't think that next safety car's coming in. I think it's stopping at 6. 3-second time penalty for Tyler Markle. Here comes Dan Park into the pit lane, putting on a new set of intermediates. Maybe it's those tires. Or maybe he's trying to undercut Troy Salter. Julian Van Buren up to third. Dan Park thinks it's time for the wets. It's gotten to that point. Is it too wet for the intermediates? So now Troy Salter a decent sized lead, 1.5 seconds over Tyler Markle. Julian Van Buren almost 10 seconds back at Troy. Brian Glendon 16 seconds back at Troy. Dan Park 29 seconds back from Troy. Joshua Ballier, he's just fallen off the face of the planet. I don't know how. Literally, he was battling for the lead. I'm a little. Did he have like a drive-through penalty or something that I didn't? A stop and go penalty. He didn't have a drive-through. Was that he served the stop and go or something? That's crazy. Okay. You can see the spray now really picking up here. Troy Salter, Tyler Markle continue to stay out. Here comes Julian Van Buren for his wet compound tires. And speeding in the pit lane. 5 seconds. Another hinder to this race for Julian Van Buren. 3-second time penalty for Dan Park. It ain't over yet. So Dan's still trying to get acclimatized to the wet tires. Here comes Julian Van Buren. He's going to have to get acclimatized to them, but he's going to take the position from Dan Park. He did speed in the pit lane, but he did get his 5-second time penalty, I believe. This 5-second stop and go penalty, I believe. Now to the race lead. We have 2 different battles going on at 2 different compounds of tires in the same weather. Troy Salter, Tyler Markle going at it on intermediates for the race lead, and then it's going to be Julian Van Buren and Dan Park going at it on the wet compound tire for 4th. So now the dirt rally experience, both of these drivers are very good off-road and dirt and rally. Are they going to showcase their talent here? Or do they pit for the wet tires soon? They both stay out. I think Tyler's just doing what Troy does, and Troy's just doing what Tyler does. And if they both stay out, this may be costly, but it may not be costly because they're holding steady. If anything, I mean, they're pulling away from Dan Park especially. So if you're not losing time, if the shit ain't broke, don't fix it. That exactly looks to be the case. Look at all that spray. Oh, and he makes contact. Troy Salter maintains the lead. I think Tyler Markle just couldn't brake and ran right into the back of Troy Salter, which in turn, though he hit Troy Salter and his tire and he may have gotten a little bit more wear, Tyler Markle's going to have some handling issues, and this may be optimal for Troy Salter. This may be the prime opportunity to pull away, maybe get into a rhythm and try to open up a gap. While Tyler Markle's going to be battling probably some handling issues. We're going to see what happens here. I don't know if it's going to be huge to Tyler Markle. They have had to adjust their braking points. Van Buren's gained time. Tyler Markle to the race lead. Here comes Joshua Aveney is on the wet tire, the wet compound tire. So Tyler Markle to the race lead. Does Troy Salter get his chance back? Now Tyler Markle may have an ill-handling race car. He may not for that wing that he just used up on Troy Salter. They both follow each other into the pit lane. Don't speed, boys. Don't speed. Make it a clean stop. Neither one of them speed. Troy Salter beats Markle into the pit lane. Brian Glennon stays out. Troy Salter, here he comes. By inopportune strategy, 15 laps remain in the Spanish Grand Prix, and Brian Glennon is leading the race. So Brian Glennon to the race lead, Troy Salter in second, Julian Van Buren in third, Tyler Markle, he pits for intermediates. Wow, is that a strategy call? Is this a strategy call, or did he truly not pit for wets? That is so... If he meant to put on wets, that's terrible. Look at this. Monsoon conditions. 15 laps remain here in the Spanish Grand Prix. Here comes Dan Park. Tyler Markle under attack, and whoa, drifting. Deja vu, initial D compilation right through that corner. And Brian Glennon continues to lead, making contact with Troy Salter. And Brian Glennon will lead 2 consecutive laps under green, or 1 lap by stat. He did not cross the line as the race leader last lap. But Brian Glennon, that is his 4th or 5th career lap led. Troy Salter now out of here. Here comes Julian Van Buren. This could be Troy's biggest obstacle to winning this race. Julian Van Buren, who's very fast. Is he faster than Troy Salter? Or is Salter fast enough to defend? So Tyler Markle, who pitted a second time, put on the wrong compound tire, and wow, just heartbreak for Tyler Markle. I bet he wishes he can get another safety car. But I think the limit is 6. We had our 6 safety cars. That's sad. Joshua Bally still going strong on the intermediates. Brian Glennon, he lost a couple spots, but he's still going strong on the intermediates. Here comes Brian Glennon into the pit lane. He got to lead his lap. Now he's pitting. Joshua Ballier, when does he pit for wet tires or does he stay out? He pits with Brian Glennon. And now everybody's on the wet compound tire. So now Troy Salter, he's actually opening up a gap to Julian Van Buren. Now let's take a look at how many pit stops everybody's made today. So Troy Salter's made 4. Julian Van Buren's made 6. Dan Park's made 5. Tyler Merkel's made 8. Brian Glendon's made 6. Joshua Ballier's made 7. Joshua Abney's made 4. Josh Sanik's made 6. And Darius Bell's made 2. So Brian Glennon gets his 5th career lap led, and he falls already to 5th. Probably going to lose 5th to Ballier. So now, it's just, can Troy Salter finish this race? That's all he's got to do. He's opening a gap to Julian Van Buren, to Dan Park, to Tyler Markle. He has a huge gap. Actually, Tyler Markle, Brian Glennon, Joshua Ballier, Joshua Abney, they're all racing. But unless there's a safety car, they really don't have a chance to win this race. It's either Troy Salter, Julian Van Buren, or Dan Park who can win this race by even luck. I feel like if nobody makes a mistake, this is Troy Salter's race to lose, because he's just as fast, maybe faster, maybe just a teeny bit slower than Julian Van Buren. And that's all you need to do. And he's fought for his, if he can finish, if he can seal the deal, if he can win this race, he has fought through the adversity. He had the chance in Australia. He had the chance in China. I think he wrecked. No, he did not wreck. He didn't. I don't know. I know he had his chance at Bahrain and got caught out by pit strategy and several different incidents throughout the race. Russia, he led the race until coming to the final lap. About to start the final lap, goes off the track. 2 weeks ago, that was in Russia. Here we are in Spain, a week later. 12 laps remain in the Spanish Grand Prix here in Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, in Barcelona, Spain. He has a 4-second lead over Julian Van Buren. 12 laps. Can he hold on? Right now, Julian Van Buren is gaining on Troy Salter. He better step it up, because I don't know if he can see anything in his mirror fall to spray, but if he looks in his mirror, that Mercedes is getting bigger. It was 5 seconds, now it's 4. Troy Salter's got to be on his A game. He's got to be running this track to its full potential. He's got to be going into every corner. He's got to be hitting his marks for the next 12 laps. You can't make a mistake, and you can't be slow. Troy Salter does have a lot of experience off-road and dirt racing. And here he is. 11 laps remaining here in the Spanish Grand Prix. He's just got to seal the deal. That has been the key words, the key phrase. Those have been the key words for Troy Salter. Seal the deal. Finish it off. Finish your job. Do it right. Finish it right. Now 3.5 seconds is the gap. This could be looking iffy for Troy Salter. These races are never over, are they? No. No, they're not. They're never over. Because here are 11 laps to go, and Troy Salter, one mistake, and this race is back to anyone's race. All it is, all Van Buren needs is one slip up from Troy Salter. Another glimmer of light, that's it. Another glimmer of light, glimmer of hope at this race, and I feel like Van Buren will attack that glimmer of hope as soon as he sees it, as soon as it presents itself. 2 rookies. Troy Salter making his 5th EWRL F1 start. Van Buren making his 2nd. Both of these drivers very capable of winning. Both of these drivers very deserving of winning. 10 laps remain here in Barcelona. And it's anyone's race. Troy Salter now opens the gap back up to just over 4 seconds. Joshua Ballier does get around Brian Glennon. Let's get a little bit of through the field reports. Troy Salter leading this race in his 5th EWRL F1 career start. 5th EWRL career start for Troy Salter. 1st F1 start. No, 6th EWRL start and 5th F1 start. It's his 5th F1 race here in EWRL. He has a 4-second lead. This time by will be 9 laps remaining in the Spanish Grand Prix, and he's just trying to seal the deal. He's been so close so many times this season already to win races. Can he do it now? Julian Van Buren making his 2nd EWRL F1 start. He's in 2nd. He's pushing the car to its limits. He just needs one mistake out of Troy Salter and he can win this race. Julian Van Buren looking for everything, anything he can get. It's now 3.7 seconds the gap between him and Troy Salter. Along with Troy Salter, he's also a rookie, very deserving of a win, looking for his 1st career win this season. Will it come today? Dan Parker, 2-time EWRL F1 World Champion, riding in 3rd, 10.5 seconds back of the race leader. He needs a major mistake from both of them if he wants this chance to win this race. Dan Park going for his 3rd championship and a 3rd consecutive championship in EWRL F1. Dan Park also started the race from dead last on the grid. He led this race at one point. And usually when Dan Park leads a race, it's no one else's. It's Dan's race to lose. And essentially, he got overtaken by Troy Salter. Tyler Markle, it's been the series of adversity for Tyler Markle. Nothing can go right. He's gotten his one race win, but other than that, nothing can go right for Tyler Markle. So today, he pitted to go onto the wet compound tire, but his crew did not have wet compound tires ready. They had intermediates, and they put on another set of intermediates for Tyler Markle. He had to go around and pit a second time. All that momentum, all that time was lost because just inopportune mistakes, even out of his control essentially. That was by the crew. He was not able to get his wet tires the first stop, and he had to pit a second time. Joshua Ballier, I don't know what happened to him. He must have fell off the face of the planet. 1 second, he's battling for the race lead. The next second, he's 38 seconds behind the race leader. I believe it was a stop and go penalty he had to serve, and then he had to pit for wet tires. He was 16 seconds back at one point, probably the length of a stop and go. And it was just, just unexpected to see Ballier just go from the lead 38 seconds back. I was shocked, and honestly, he had a good chance to win this race, a great chance. He was up there with Dan and Troy and Julian, and he just fell off the face of the planet. That was Ballier's highlight of the day. He just fell off the face of the planet out of nowhere. In 6th place, we have Brian Glennon. He had a strong showing today. He was in second at one point. He led his 5th career lap today. It's been a decent day. It's been something to be proud of for Brian Glennon. He's getting better. He's gaining the experience, and soon he may be a top competitor. But for now, he's got to settle for what he's got. He's got to be content with running second for a few laps and essentially having the race lead for a lap, even if it was by strategy. Joshua Abney, I know his car is being controlled by an AI, but wow, he started the race, and he went through adversity. I don't know if he lagged out or if he left. I guess that's besides the point. The AI has done a phenomenal job keeping up with the 6 safety cars, and was able to maintain its lead lap position or get its lap back, and then join the queue. And then it took the lead. It was leading under one safety car. It led the field to green. What a job by Joshua Abney. Josh Stanek had a decent day. It was his first EWRL F1 start. I think his 3rd EWRL start. And he just crashed it, man. Darius Bell, another disappointing day. Another retirement early in the race for Darius Bell under a safety car. And Tristan Allen, facing early adversity, gave up and drove it into the pit lane wall. Wow, just a... That's what you describe it with. Just an insane chain of events. And now we rejoined the race leader, Troy Salter. His lead is now shrink down. 5 laps remaining here. 6 laps, I mean. 6 laps remain here in the Spanish Grand Prix here in Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. And the lead is now 3.3 seconds. I would round down and say 3 seconds. Troy Salter is definitely losing time to Julian Van Buren. But does he have enough time? It's 6 laps. Does he have enough time to catch Troy Salter and pass him? Because these are 2 rookies, very hungry, very worthy of a race win here in Barcelona. Either way, we are adding a name to the EWRL all-time wins list today. Whether it goes between Troy Salter or Julian Van Buren, if it stays green, if neither of these drivers spin or wreck or anything, and it's a clean battle, either Troy Salter or Julian Van Buren's name is going into the EWRL all-time wins list today. EWRL had its 200 and... I have to recount, I believe 202nd. maybe 203rd. I will pull it up right now. 203rd race 2 weeks ago at Atlanta for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. This is the 204th EWRL race. Who will it go to? On board with Troy Salter, 5 laps remaining. The gap is now opened up to almost 4 seconds between Troy Salter and Julian Van Buren. He's got to be telling himself, seal the deal, finish it off. You can't be making mistakes now. The gap is now 3.5 seconds. This time by will be 4 laps remaining in the Spanish Grand Prix. Four laps remaining, and Troy Salter's got to be telling himself, just no mistakes. Hit those marks. He's focusing. You gotta be. You can tell he is concentrating, like through the screen, through the game. He's concentrating through the wall behind the TV. Again, this race, 6 safety cars. That is tied for an F1 high. We've had another race with 6 safety cars. It was earlier this season. The Chinese Grand Prix had 6 safety cars. Only 2 races in EWRL F1 have had 6 safety cars, and it has both been this season in the span of 4 races, 5 weeks. 6 safety cars to go at China, 6 safety cars to go here at Spain. 1 safety car was during a transition period between dry to wet, and it was when everybody put on the intermediate compound tire. Surely we thought, okay, there might be at least one more. There was another safety car, I believe. There was one more safety car, that was 6th. Surely everybody thought, okay, there may be one more safety car, maybe a 7th. Yes, no? No, there was not. Everybody had to pit for wet compound tires at their own leisure, at their own risk. And that risk did end up hurting Tyler Markle. Very well had a chance to win this race, to compete for the race win. And he put on intermediate instead of wets. Joshua Bally, I'm going to assume, had a stop and go penalty. Lost a lot of time and then had to pit for wets. And just never regained that time. Brian Glennon was leading a few laps ago, and now he's 6th place, half the track behind the race leader. I think he's just trying to limp that car home. Troy Salter, this time by 2 laps remaining. He got around the lap traffic. That's all he had to do now. He's got to finish the race. He went off the track. No. It's not over yet. This race is not over. Wow, 2 laps remaining, and Troy Salter went off the track. I think he's just, I don't know if he even wants to win the way it's looking here. Another late race mistake, this time by 2 laps to go at the start-finish line. This time it will be the last lap, or the start of the last lap, and now the gap is over a second, but now Troy Salter's got to really be on his A game. He can't make another mistake. Julian Van Buren is obviously faster. Troy Salter, not yet though, but may have just choked this one away. Now a lap and a half to go. He's just got to be perfect. He can't make another mistake. He got very lucky. He had a little bit of insurance of a 4-second gap. That was the gap when he made his mistake. And now he just, I don't get how he went off the track on the straightaway. Maybe he was falling asleep or something, just wasn't paying attention. He just went off the track. He got right back on and put it back, and he was gone. But it was just a random turn of events. It just did not expect it at all. 2 weeks in a row, he made a mistake coming to 2 laps to go, or on 2 laps to go. Now this time by to the final corner. The final lap of the Spanish Grand Prix begins now, and the gap between the 2 leaders is 1 second. Troy Salter looking for his first career win. Julian Van Buren looking for his first career win. Troy Salter in his 5th EWRL F1 start. Julian Van Buren in his 2nd EWRL F1 career start. Boy, has this race had its share of drama. 6 safety cars, a transition from dry to wet, 2 surprise race leaders, 5 drivers battling for the race all day. And this race, one of the longer races of the season, it comes down to still a battle between 2 drivers in full wet conditions. Now separated by just 1 second. Heading on to the final DRS straight. DRS is not enabled in the rain. Van Buren doesn't have anything to get him up there. Just under a second is the gap. Does Troy Salter get through the final few corners? Julian Van Buren breathing down his neck, 0.8 of a second. Into the final chicane. Coming out of the right-hander into the final corner. Van Buren with his final hoorah, throwing the kitchen sink at the final corner. Troy Salter is an EWRL winner, an EWRL F1 winner. He wins the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona. With one hell of a battle there at the end with Julian Van Buren. Dan Park finishes 3rd. Tyler Markle coming through the final chicane, just trying to limp it home. Through the final corner in that Renault, but a strong showing, but a costly mistake. 4th place for Tyler Markle. Here comes Ballier, 5th place for Joshua Ballier. The final car in the lead lap ended up leading a lap. 5th career lap led. Ran 2nd part of the day. Really strong showing for Brian Glennon. Off the final corner, P6 for Brian Glennon. What an insane turn of events. Wow. Just wow. I'm amazed by the way this race went. And now the podium celebration. A fresh face on the top step of the podium. Troy Salter for Williams. And another fresh face on the 2nd step of the podium. Julian Van Buren. Dan Park, familiar to the podium, but not familiar to the red suit he is in. 3rd place for Dan Park. And here is your finishing order. Just wow. Well, thank you for watching the EWRL F1 Season 3 Spanish Grand Prix. Congratulations to Troy Salter on his first career win and Julian Van Buren on his first career podium. You know what? Let's see if we can get a little word with Troy Salter here. Holy hell, Troy! Congratulations! My heart stopped. I was watching, like, does he even want to win anymore? He just went straight off. I'm like, does he even want to win? Yeah. And Prophetic, a hell of a race to you, man. You battled it through everything. Congratulations on your second podium today. I know you wanted to win, but it was a hell of a race from you, man. Man, I don't know what to say. This is the second time this season we've had the safety car glitch for the 6 safety cars today, but it made the race better. It made it interesting. It was like NASCAR stage racing, man. Oh man, that was a great race. Who? Oh, Russia? Yeah. 2 laps to go at Russia, you go straight off into the final chicane. 2 laps to go here in Spain, you go off on the front straightaway. Do you even want to win, Troy? I'm so glad you sealed the deal today. And now you're finally a winner, and you're on the EWRL all-time wins list. Oh, I didn't. I couldn't see it. All I saw was like I saw the field of cars just go flying off the corner. And I'm like, but what? And I go down the order. And I see you're in the gravel trap. I'm like, did you just get plowed by a BG? And then, BG, what happened under the safety car? You could have had the race lead earlier in the race. But did you just, like, hit the safety car or something? Or what happened? Yeah, you could have passed the safety car, too.
But I was still handling just fine, though. Everyone,
you don't really need the wets unless you're, losing handling.
Yeah, but
like, I had
Emerson,
to stop
did you
on
see
that
that
safety
power?
car.
I think coming out of out of turn 4, Markle hit me.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, whoa!
Yeah.
And then, like, the way the camera was, I couldn't see what happened in the middle of the corner. I just saw both of you come out the other side. I'm like, wow.
Because as soon as I felt contact, I went full lock, and I saved it.
Yeah, I just saw Marco hit you. I'm like, aw, shit. And then the camera switched. I couldn't see the middle of the corner, so I didn't see your save. But I saw you come out the other, and I'm like, ooh.
Oh, but yeah.
All right, well, hell of a win. Hell of a race, man. This race had every bit. Like, it had dry racing, it had wet racing, it had 6 safety cars, it had crashes, it had BG leading, it had an AI leading, it had everything.
I got my revenge.
Man, what a race. It was fun to watch. For once, I watched like this long ass race and I didn't even feel like falling asleep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, pretty much all races this season, you've nearly fallen asleep at the
Probably it's pretty much one of the best races of the season. I'm not even, I mean, I did take a nap before, but I'm not even
definitely the best race in my career.
But before, but not during the race, though.
Yeah, I took a nap before the race, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You didn't want a nap for this race. Holy shit.
No, oh man, if I was tired, I'd have to slap myself to get some energy. But yeah, again, hell of a
Okay.
race and congratulations, man.
Do we have any sugary
Will you be
drinks?
on in, like,
I might.